Why you should use your retirement money for real estate. Did you know that since 1974, the IRS has allowed us to use retirement money for real estate? That's right, that's always been the case historically speaking. If you think about it, the IRS doesn't really care what your retirement money invests in, right? They shouldn't. What's it to them if you use it to invest in stocks, bonds, or mutual funds versus real estate or maybe like a friend's startup business? Why is it that so few people know that we can use our IRA money for real estate? Well, you just got to trace the money. Here's what happens. Wall Street does not want you to know that you can actually control your IRA and invest in whatever you want. The reason being that most financial advisors are paid when you put your money into the traditional markets like stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. Alternatively, when you use your retirement money for real estate, financial advisors typically don't get paid. That means they're going to do their best to try to guide you down the path of using retirement money for these traditional assets like stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. If you talk to most financial advisors, they're going to tell you 101 reasons why using IRA money for real estate is a terrible idea. And today, I'm going to tell you why it's actually a great idea for you to invest your IRA money in real estate. And here are the 6 reasons why. First off, if you are a real estate investor, that means you have a unique insight or expertise in the real estate asset class. Wouldn't you rather put your retirement money into an asset class that you know more of and you have more control over? Think about it. Apple stock, Tesla stock, it goes up and down. There's nothing that we can do as an investor or a shareholder of those stocks to do anything to really impact changes from that perspective. However, if you used your IRA or 401k money to invest in, let's say, a rental property, you have full control over which property it is, how much rent you charge, what you can do to improve on the property. So using IRA money for real estate gives us a lot more control over the asset class, and it allows us to use our most precious bucket of retirement money to invest in an asset class that we have expertise in. Again, it's something that I can decide on, it's something that I can feel, touch, and see, and there are things that I can do within my power to try to improve on that asset rather than leaving it to the volatility of the stock market is going to be. Reason number 2 on why you would want to use your IRA money for real estate, it's because when you own rental real estate inside of an IRA or 401k, there are tax benefits associated with it. Contrary to popular belief, there are tax benefits even if the asset class is rental real estate. Let me give you 2 examples. Let's say I bought a property on Main Street with my IRA money. Well, the cash flow that's generated from that retirement money is growing either tax deferred if I have a traditional account, or it's growing tax free if I'm using a Roth IRA or a Roth 401k. Versus if I were to own a rental property that has high cash flow and if I don't have enough depreciation, well, guess what? I personally have to pay taxes on that money. Now, here's the other reason. What about when I sell my rental property? Let's say I have a property I've owned for a couple years and appreciates in value. Well, if I sell it outside of my retirement account in my personal name or in my LLC, usually I might have to worry about paying taxes, right? Or I can do a 1031 exchange and there's other ways to offset it. But in a normal scenario, when I sell property, then I would have to pay capital gains taxes. But if you have a rental property that's held within the retirement account, when you sell, you don't have to worry about capital gains taxes. You don't have to worry about depreciation recapture. You don't have to worry about 1031 exchange. As long as the proceeds remain within the retirement account, we can actually have that money continue to grow either tax deferred or tax free, depending on whether that's a traditional or Roth bucket. All right, the third reason to use IRA money for real estate investing is leverage. When we buy a rental property using IRA money, you can actually get bank financing. Actually, let me clarify. You can't get bank financing, but your IRA can get bank financing. How does this work? Well, let's say I have $100,000 saved up in my self-directed IRA. That $100,000 can be a down payment on a $200,000 or $300,000 rental property. The IRA itself can get non-recourse financing from a bank, just like how you normally would get a bank financing, except that in this scenario, you're not signing on the loan, the IRA is signing on the loan. And so what that means is my $100,000 IRA is now owning a $300,000 rental property. So just like how when we invest in rental real estate, we can use leverage, so can our IRA. And that's another reason that it's good to consider owning real estate in your IRA. Because as we know, when we use that money, that same money to invest in the stock market or in bonds or mutual funds, there is no leverage, right? So $100,000 is going to get me $100,000 worth of stock versus my $100,000 in my IRA could maybe get me $300,000 of rental real estate. Reason number 4, there is actually a benefit to depreciation even when your property is owned inside of an IRA. Now, I just talked about how you can use your IRA money as down payment and buy a rental property using leverage. Something that not a lot of people know is that when we use leverage to buy rental real estate, sometimes there are hidden taxes within the retirement account. A common one is called the UDFI, unrelated debt finance income tax. And all that is IRA says, you know what, you had $100,000 in your IRA, but now that you've used leverage, you have a $300,000 property that's growing in there. So to the extent there's leverage, there may be taxes associated with that leverage. And here's where depreciation benefit comes in. If I were subject to debt finance income taxes, well, guess what? That rental property itself does provide depreciation tax benefits, and that depreciation benefit can help me to offset this leveraged income tax when I use my retirement money alongside debt to invest in larger and better property. All right, the 5th reason to use IRA and 401k money for real estate investing is the tax deductions. Rather than us using our after-tax money to invest in rental real estate, why not put money into a retirement account to get a tax deduction and then turn around and take that money to invest in rental real estate? Here's a common example. Let's say you are a real estate broker or a realtor and you made $500,000 of net profit in that specific year. Well, guess what? Based on that amount of income, you can contribute close to $60,000 into a self-directed 401k, or maybe even over $150,000 into a self-directed 401k, as well as a defined benefit plan or pension plan. There are all types of different retirement accounts. I know we were talking about IRA as one of them, but all types of accounts could be self-directed. So back to that scenario, if you're someone who was making $500,000 and we can contribute $150,000 into a retirement account, well, guess what? That could be $150,000 of immediate tax deductions. And what I can do is I can take that $150,000 within the self-directed account and use it to invest in rental properties at the same time. So it's a win-win scenario for a lot of our clients who want to reduce current year taxes from their business, but also want to take that money and use it to invest in rental real estate. All right, the 6th reason to use your Roth IRA money to invest in real estate is potentially tax-free growth. Now, you may have a lot of money saved up throughout the years in tax-free accounts like Roth IRAs or even Roth 401ks. If that money is sitting stuck in the stock market, subject to the market volatility, why not roll that money over to a self-directed Roth account and use it to invest in real estate, right? Just like the traditional account, we can invest in all types of real estate, from long-term rentals to mid-term rentals or short-term rentals or even syndications. And because the money is in the Roth account, not only do I get tax-free cash flow, but I also get tax-free gain eventually when I sell. And let's face it, if I have so much money that I don't use it up, I can pass that off to my kids or grandkids or other beneficiary tax-free. What's better than tax-free money to the next generation? All right, so we covered 6 reasons why you would consider using your IRA to invest in real estate. Let me tell you why this doesn't happen more often. And the reason I said earlier is because financial advisors really don't want you to move money from retirement to real estate because they lose out on. And in fact, what we've seen time and time again are financial advisors who mislead clients. So common scenario we have is, an investor goes to their financial advisor at Fidelity or Merrill Lynch and they say, hey, I want to use my IRA or 401k money to go into real estate. And what they're told is, well, you can't really do it. You're going to have to pay taxes and penalties. Well, when somebody tells you that, what they're saying is you have to take distributions. So meaning liquidate your retirement account, pay taxes and maybe even penalties, and then use it for real estate. But we know better. That's not the only way. So we're not talking about liquidating your retirement money for real estate. What we're talking about is using retirement money for real estate. And it's as simple as doing what we call a rollover. So if Fidelity or Merrill Lynch won't let you use that money for real estate, what you can do is you can roll that money over into a self-directed account with a self-directed custodian. Once the money is in the self-directed custodian, you can then start shopping for real estate investments. Again, we're not saying we're taking distributions. We're simply saying we're moving to a different custodian, and that custodian will allow us to do self-directed investing. Here's what's really interesting. We have clients who will talk to their traditional financial advisors who say, oh, of course, you can do self-directed investing within my platform. But what they're talking about is you get to choose between the different offerings that they have. So this stock versus that stock, this mutual fund versus that mutual fund, this real estate REIT versus that REIT. And that's not what we're talking about here. When we talk about a true self-directed investing, nobody's giving you a portfolio to choose from. It is up to you as the investor to shop the entire world to look at what are all the different and amazing things that you can use your retirement money for. I know today we're talking about using IRA money for rental real estate, but there are a whole slew of other assets that we can use retirement money for as well. With respect, I said we can do short-term rentals, mid-term rentals, long-term rentals, self-storage. We can also do note investments. If you have somebody who's doing fix and flip or needs a rental property but can't get enough financing, well, guess what? Your IRA money could be a loan to their property and be able to generate interest income on that. And who knows, maybe you have a friend or a cousin who has a new startup business. Guess what? Your IRA money could be used for that as well. So as you can see, self-directed investing is one of the best kept secrets that we really don't want it to be a secret anymore. We really want the whole world to know about it, because what's better than being able to control your retirement money and invest in what you know best? If you liked this video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more amazing tax content just like this.